Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Savage Oppress from Star Wars. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, so it's going to be all hunched over and fighting for this one. But I got to leave room for the lightsaber too, right? So, you know, as much as I want to hunch him over and put him into a big fighting position, again, I got to make sure there's enough room for where the lightsaber is going to go, and it's going to have it off to the side. I tend to do that for double-bladed lightsabers, is put it off, you know, to the top and the bottom. But hey, it looks good. Maybe that's why I do it. You know, I'm not going to complain. So yeah, let me just get him into position real fast, and then we can worry about placement. Well, that's part of it, right? That's the whole thing of positioning, is first you position, and then you add the details. Now, placement is really what all the positioning is about. It's to make sure that I've got him in the right spot, and so he doesn't fall off the page, you know? So, in doing that, I have to take into consideration this time the lightsaber, and that's pretty much just what I'm trying to say. Just look at your positioning, make sure you have him visible. All right, and I'm going for I can't remember where he was like this, but battle damage Savage. I mean, alright, I gotta address it. Why? I know because it's cool, but there's a part of me that's like, it's Savage. It's not Savage. Yeah, I know. It's always been said Savage, but it's just funny to me that it's still the same word, but they're just pronouncing it differently to make it cool, you know? And it's just funny to me. Star Wars has always done that, right? Taken like not dark words, but words that are supposed to be like scary, you know. What's another one? Oh, I'm drawing a blank on them right now, so my point is even less proven. Grievous, you know, like that. You know, it's like it's just take a darker word that means something a little malicious or scary, you know, and that's his name, you know. So yeah, so it's just kind of funny to me because they take Savage and just pronounce it differently, you know. But hey, it's Star Wars, you know. I'm not going to complain. They can do whatever they want. All right, so that looks about right for the lightsaber. Let me try and do like something like that. That way I can follow the correct line. And that means his hand is pretty much just going to be like we've done with the other lightsabers. You're only going to see a certain amount of his hand because of the angle that it's holding. If you're holding a lightsaber like this, and all you're seeing is the back of the hand, all we're drawing is like a lump for the thumb, and then the top of the hand, that's it. There's no fingers, you can't see anything. I'm wiggling them. You can't really see anything because of the positioning. So, it's kind of an advantage that there's less we have to draw. You know, you just got to make sure that you get what you need in there. All right. Okay, so now I can start to worry about details like his his armor pieces, his what do you call them? Shoulder pads. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do, yeah, because he's the older version, or the one of the last few versions. I'm gonna make him with those cuts in his not thorns. I was about to say thorns in his horns. Boy, my brain is just not here. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and also, just a heads up, just a warning, I'm not going to do the design in his face. I'm going to do that with color. It helped out with Darth Maul, but for now, it's going to look a little strange, just so you know that he's going to look like a regular-looking guy with horns on his head. But because it's the color that really makes the design look good. And even though it is black, I think it would look better if we design it with color instead of Sharpie. So yeah, so like Darth Maul, it's just going to look like a normal looking guy with horns growing out of his head. What did I say before? Thorns? With thorns growing out of his head. Just kidding. Let's see. There's some in the back, right? That you can't really see. Nah, that'll work. This'll work. Okay, so let me just solidify a few little things here. And then we can get started. We're about ready. The sketch worked out pretty well. But that also means that I have to be careful when I erase, because I didn't need to use a lot of erasing. I mean, a lot of confidence lines. I was pretty confident with the sketch, so it's ready to go as is. It's usually I have to start pressing a lot harder as you get confident. You know, these lines I gotta start pushing harder. But the sketch worked out pretty well, so I didn't have to push it down a lot harder. The first few lines I was throwing down actually worked out. So I think we're good. I think we can get going. The lightsaber I'm not too worried about right now. I'll add the detail as we go. I think we're ready. Yeah. So let me erase some of these lines, and then we'll welcome everybody to the Sharpie portion. All those people that skipped. I gotta be careful though, because like I said, oh, my tape is not working lately. It's time to get new tape. Okay, I think I am ready. Alright, let's go. Let me retape real fast, then we'll welcome everybody that skipped. Good to go. Awesome, here we go. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but a pencil finer than a fine point. You can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased a majority of it, but left myself a ghost of an image that I could use to guide us. And I'm going to start with the Sharpie pen, because I can control the line widths much easier than that. with this. And understand that I've got him in a crouched position, ready to fight, and I'm not going to do the details on the face. I'm going to do that with color. So he's going to look like a normal looking guy with horns for now. Alright? Oh, hooray? Okay. So I'm going to start off with the eyes. I'm going to do the top of the lids like this, just to see if I've got them in the right spot, and it looks about right to me. So let me go ahead and add some retinas. It's the color part. And then a little bit of the dot of the pupil. Very light, because I don't want it to bleed. And I'm just going to come in just a little bit with the bottom lid like this, just kind of implying. Okay, I'm not actually going to draw it, because again, it's too small and it'll bleed. So I'm just going to do something like this, give him a furrowed angry brow, and then come in for a little bit of a bridge of a nose like this. But again, a lot of this is going to be color, so all I'm going to do is like that, and give him a little frowny face. Like that. Give him a bottom lip, and then draw his chin. Now, I'm going to start to thicken this up too, because as I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference. So I'm getting ready for what I'm going to do. You don't have to do that, but I am. And plus, it helps correct any mistakes I make too. Like if I'm off, I can see these little jagged little points. I'm going to correct that as I go. Alright. And let's see, let me go ahead and draw his ear. I've got his head tilted just a little bit, so his ear's a little higher than, what is it, the eye to nose is usually where it is. We're going to do ours a little higher because of his tilt of his head. His head's down just a little bit in his fighting stance, okay? Alright, so again, remember, I'm not adding color. So it's just going to be, that's it, okay? So let me thicken this up like I was talking about. I wanted to define some edges here, then get ready to thicken stuff up. Remember, you don't have to do this. If you're working with a pencil, you don't have to do it at all, because you're not going to be worried about how thick your lines come out. But if you're working with Sharpies and pens and whatnot, it's a good practice to use thick and thin pen lines, because you get a really neat compliment to each other. Not someone's going to tell you, hey, that's a good drawing. Not that kind of compliment. Thick versus thin compliment. Okay, so for his front horn, I'm going to do that right down the middle. I'm going to come in here and do this. And you can't really see the bend in that one because it's pointed straight at you, right? Okay, and these are going to be cut off because I'm doing the what do you call it? As is the latter version where he's got battle damage. So let's do this horn over here, and I'm only going to come up to about right there and then cut it off. Okay, so that means I'll do this one over here, and this one I can do up. Alright, like that. Then again, the ones on the back, they're going to be, well, this one's going to be cut, but the other ones, let's see, this one's kind of on his head right there on the side, up. Like that, and I can also cut it off for the side of his head. And then this one is cut as well. And that's all we can see. Okay, then I'll go ahead and use this. I'll use this to guide me. I'll use this to guide me for the back of his head. Imagining it's going around like that. And you can't really see the back of his horns because of the way his head's tilted, but we can go ahead and do a little bit of something like this, because you can see that much of them. And they're back behind, so that's all you can see. And then this one down the middle, can't see it because of the way his first horn. We're gonna say it's directly behind each other, so you can't see it like that. Okay. So I think that's it for the head. We can move on to the rest of the body now. So again, he's kind of hunched over and tilted. So his collar is pretty much underneath his head right here from the way he's tilted. So we're just gonna say it's up like that. And that's all you can see of it, okay? So you're gonna go over to his shoulder pads like this, and they're about the same level. Normally I have one or the other higher, but it's about the same level. So let's draw them like this. And I did it like that so I could draw it going over his shoulder. And now we gotta add that unique cut to them. I'll do them both at the same time, so I'll remember on each side. This is so hard to draw without moving my paper because it's taped down, so I can't move it. So I'm stuck with having to draw it by moving my arms. Because I'm like you, I move my paper as I'm drawing, you know? But not something I can do right now. Alright, and one more. Alright. How's yours looking? Awesome. Alright, so from there we can draw his arms to his chest. Let's go ahead and draw his chest down to his belt so we see where we are. I'm going to draw his pecs, because it's part of his costume. Down to there's a bottom part of the armor, like this. We're going to draw it down like this and coming up a little bit more, just like those pecs, and then I can draw his waist to his belt. I'm going to do something like that just to show that it's material, and add some creases and folds. Because at that point, it's no longer armor, right? It's cloth, and we'll just say that's where the stress is. What else can we see there? I think we're gonna do something like this, just to accent that armor. And just to give it something, so it's not just blank pieces. We're gonna breaking up the space is basically what we're doing. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do this arm first. It's going to be the robot arm, and I'm going to draw parts with them cloth wrappings around it. So I'm going to follow the shape and add just like that, little bumps. Just to bring it down like this. There's the edge. I'm going to come up here, do a bump, just to accent that it's got a wrap around it. What I mean by that is now I'm going to kind of connect some of these. And now it looks like there's wrappings around metal. And it's not just a line drawn through like we did right there. Now it looks like it's actually on top of something, you know. So you just do little things like that just to make it come alive, you know, make it your own. There we go. All right, the whole thing is bent over, so this hand is right there. So I'm going to draw down to the elbow piece. Okay, and it's more pointed at you, so I'm going to do the same thing, but it's pointed at you a little bit. So I'm going to come around like this. I'm going to add just subtle little bumps, and I'm not really planning it. I'm just making it not smooth is what I'm trying to say. All right, so now let's see if we can make those work. Let's wrap some wraps around it, and I'm going to do. Let's do. How about we do like a big one? that, and then little ones all underneath it. The lines that I did, just to see what happens, you know? All right, now that's good. That's good. I'm gonna leave it like that, and then let's finish this off. Let's make it some kind of robotic something, you know? And let's draw the hand. Okay, so the hand is pretty much it's going to be doing one of these. I can't even show you, but because it's I wanted to say a robot, because it's metal. We're going to do again some wraps and just a big shape is all we're really going to do. Because, oops, I don't want to draw the line. I want to do it with the small Sharpie. Hang on, sorry. But we're going to do just like that, very simple. I want to say robot fingers, but I mean, I guess that's what they are. What's the word I'm looking for? Simple, lines, not the word I'm looking for. Simple fingers? I don't know. I've said this many a times. I am not a speaker. I'm a drawer. I can help you draw. I can't help you speak. Sorry. All right. There we go. So something like that. There we go. Robot hand wrapped up with wrappings. Okay, so let's do this one over here. And this one is it's just normal arm, but it's pointed out. So we're gonna draw down to those little bicep accents and add those first. So I'm gonna come down here to this, and I'm gonna do something like this. Do another one. That, and I wanted to make sure I drew those first so I don't draw through them, and then I can draw the rest of the arm. So now I'm going to draw down to the gauntlet. There's the elbow, but again, because of everything else, you don't really see any of that kind of stuff. You just see the accent here. Let's go ahead and do some creases and folds while we're here, though, just to show that this is cloth. Oops, I drew right through that. This is cloth. And it's got bends and folds. Okay? Alright, so this hand holding his lightsaber, I talked about this in the sketch. It's basically like this, so you're not seeing anything besides the bump for the thumb and the back of the knuckles. So all we're going to draw is down to the wrist with this arm gauntlet, like that. And then the shape of the hand. So here's the thumb, going around the lightsaber. There's the first knuckle and then the back of the hand. That's all you're really going to see because it's the position that we chose. And I'll do maybe like that for the back of the hand so you can see that it's a knuckle, but that's really about it. That's all we can really draw. Even the thumb like that. That's it. But it's good because that's less we got to do, and we kind of get away with not having to draw that much. So for his lightsaber, I like to draw a line, just to make sure that it's going to be straight across. And I'm going to move it just a little bit. So it's going to be back behind him a little bit too, but I like to draw a straight line like that with my ruler just to make sure that it's going to be in a straight position. For the actual blade, here's what we're going to do, because it's very stylized. I'm going to say it's going to come out to about right there, so a lot of it's going to be back behind this forearm because of the positioning that it's going to be in. So again, we're getting away with not drawing a lot of detail. So let me do this. And again, I'm following that sketch. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not doing it perfect. But yeah, just kind of eyeballing, going across the the line right there, just so I can see that I've got it in the right spot. We're going across, following the ruler line. Woo! I just don't have my words. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm gonna clean it up a little bit like this, or add some details. What I was gonna do. That's why I did it like this. Let's see. So I'm gonna do like that, just to add that little detail and the stylized look. All right. So for the blade, and this is what I like to do. This is my lightsaber technique. I like to explode it and then pick up and draw, pick up and draw. So what I do is I explode it coming out. I do like it's shooting out, you know. Same here. And then draw, pick up, put it down, pick up, put it down. Just kind of like that the entire way until I turn it back around and do the same thing. And that way I'm kind of implying that it's not a solid line. It's light, basically. Okay? Same thing over here, but because you can't really see it by the way the shape or the positioning, we're going to say that this goes through here, does that, does over here, and does that. That's all you can see of the other edge. Okay? Like that, because it's reversed. So, that means I'm going to do, and I was behind his arm there too, so we're going to do something like this and turn it back around. And also that helps to not draw through his head too. We can kind of pick it up. What's your lightsaber noise? That's mine. It almost sounds like a fart, right? Okay, so let's keep going. So now we're gonna draw his what do you call it? His waistcoat, right? I'm gonna draw a little belt for him, like that. Not waistcoat, skirt. It's just skirt. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what it is. That's what it is. There's no reason to be afraid that what you're wearing is called a certain thing. Okay, and I'm gonna have it kind of out in action pose, so kind of flying like this. Same thing with his, that's the front of his skirt, and then the regular part of his skirt. So I'm gonna follow his leg, and come down like this. It's spread out because I've got his legs kind of spread. Going across like this, again, following his leg line, like that. Now, some curved lines are going to help, you know, kind of make it come alive. But because it's stretched out, it's not really, it doesn't have a lot of lines, right? Because once you get the material out, kind of like a cape, it's spread out. You know, it's not billowing and folded over each other. It's spread, so there's not a lot of lines. So that's all we got to do. So I'm going to draw his legs down to his boots, and we're going to say that there's his crotch, there's his leg coming down to here, there's his knee, and there's the edge of his boot. And this one's bent, so let's do them together. It's going to come down here. Oh, I didn't explain it. So there's his leg coming out like this. There's the knee coming down to his boot. His crotch is going to be right there, so his thighs coming through here, going to come down like this. Okay, does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to show you, the anatomy as well. Down to the edge of his boot, just like we did over there. This one is pretty much down like this, and then there's the foot. Okay, because it's very exaggerated. He's leaning mostly on this one. That's where all the weight is put. There's his heel, and there's the front of his shoe. Now I'll accent that in a second. Also, let's do it now. Also, he's got like shin guards, like a front piece, like that. Then we'll say it's got pieces like this. We'll raise it up just a little bit, just to show that it's over the boot. And here, let's go ahead and do some creases and folds just to show that cloth material. We'll raise this like this just to give it a raised look. And again, a boot has a lot of stress on it. And we'll just do something like that. Yeah. Is there anything on the front? He's got like a big toe. Yeah, we'll do something like this. Okay. All right, so let's do that for the other side now. So we're gonna do the front shoe protector, not lace protector, shin protector, like this. And this time we'll do like that, so we kind of accent it and put the boot behind it. Okay. And this one's stretched out and exaggerated because I got to point it out that way. Something like that. Let's add some extra detail. Okay, cloth basically is what we're doing there. Here again, I'm going to give it a little bit of dimension by adding another layer to it like that. Again, some stretches from there. That's going over. There's his heel. Say there's a bump in it like that. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color, make his face look awesome and really cool. That is Savage Oppress from Star Wars. So here's my colored version. You can color it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.